What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Linkin Gaming. I wanted to do another how-to video for us today. And this is a simple how-to video on how to expand the storage capacity of the latest Xboxes, the Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X. And I believe this will work on the older style Xboxes as well. So basically the Xbox Series S has only got a internal storage device in it of 512 gigabytes, but I think only around 380 gigabytes is actually usable space, storage to put your games on. Games today, for example, my favourite Battlefield is at least 80 gig per game, and you can get stuff like Modern Warfare, which is massive. So I thought it'd be helpful if I could do a video on basically how to connect an external drive to your Xbox and expand that storage capacity. So let's give that a go, shall we? So I'll just connect up. I'm using the Samsung 500GB T5 drive for this test, so I'll just connect that up now. And there we go, we can see that the Xbox has detected the drive and it's now asking us if we want to use it for media. So if you've got any films stored on that drive, you can access them, or pictures or things of that nature, or we can format the storage device so we can use it for stuff like saving our games, transferring our games onto. So let's do that, and then we can name our drive. So we'll get rid of that and we'll just name it Samsung. There we go. And for this, because generally speaking, the NVMe internal SSD that's in the Xbox will be quicker than the external SSD T5 that I'm using here, because it'll be throttled by things like the USB 3 port. So generally speaking, I'd say keep the internal storage is where you want to use sort of your most used games and keep them there. And this is great because you can basically shift games over to your external drive, games that you don't play as much, but then you can shift them back into. But I'll show you that in a second, so let's give this a go first. So we'll keep the current location. We'll give it a for me doormat. And there we go, we're ready now. So what we need to do now is go into games. And we can manage our storage now, so storage devices. So we can see the Samsung's there, it's got absolutely nothing on it because we've just formatted it. And as you can see, sorry I was a little bit off, it's 364 gigabytes of usable storage. And we'll just have a look at that and you can see the sort of, if it tells us. Yeah, so Battlefield 1 for example is 65 gig on its own. So they are pretty big. Cyberpunk 62. Let's have a look at the Hitman games. 73. So they're all big games. So let's go back. So we'll use Firewatch as an example because I know it's tiny. It's only about 3 gig. And we'll manage that. And we'll select it. And we'll manage installation of internals, manage installation on internal. So we'll move or copy it, we'll select it. And you don't want to copy it because that's just going to create another version of it for your other drive. So we want to actually shift it over, so we'll move it and it does it automatically for you. It sees that external drive, throws it onto the external drive. Might take a second or so. But the speeds are very quick, so the benefit of this is basically even if you've got super fast internet, it can take a while to download your games basically from Game Pass or wherever you download them from the Xbox store. And the benefit of this is you don't have to constantly uninstall and reinstall games when you want to play them again. And these drives now, these T5s are really good drives, and they're only about 70 quid from places like Argos. So we will go back. We'll go to manage, we'll go into storage, We'll view the contents of that drive, and there we go, we can see Firewatch. So let's click it, see if it runs correctly, which it definitely will. And there we go. So we're now running Firewatch from that drive. I'll just boot it up. So this is now running from my external drive. Let's see, it's running fine. And if you haven't checked out my Firewatch playthrough, please give that a look-see. It's an awesome game. But let's go back to this video. So if we now go to Game Pass, and let's say Forza Horizon 5 is going to be big. So we want to install that. So we'll hit install. Right, and the Xbox has now worked out that we don't have enough space on the internal storage to actually install that game, which is fine, because we can free up some space for it. So something I don't play all that often. It's suggesting Battlefield 5, but I'm not doing that because I actually play that quite a lot. We will throw over Hitman. So we'll just hit move. We'll move it over to the Samsung. I'll suspend my game because I'm not actually playing it, which speeds up the transfer. And as this is all shifting over, it will eventually get to Forza, and as soon as it is found that there is actually enough space on our internal, which I would recommend installing your new games to, because like I say, it's likely to be faster than your external drive, depending on your external drive, but you are limited to the speeds of USB 3 or 3.1 or whatever is on the new Xbox. And I'll just skip along the video now because you don't want to sit here for 4 minutes waiting for that to be done, so I'll do that now. So as you can see, the transfer is pretty quick. It hasn't taken long to copy over at all. And I would recommend installing the new games on the Xbox Series S or X's NVMe SSD, internal SSD that is. Just because it's likely to be quicker to actually do it that way than play it off your external, even though we're just sharing a demonstration that you can play games off the external drive. You might as well just shift them over because it doesn't take long to do it at all. And it really does help save you with waiting around for those downloads of them huge game files like we're looking at here. My internet's actually pretty quick, but it's a 104 gigabyte game, and even at the speeds that I'm getting, it's going to take an hour and a half. So if you've already done that, then it's just so easy to throw games between the two drives, and it's actually a really simple thing to do. Also, another thing to note with transferring games to external storage is some games actually can't be played from the external storage device, so it is always good to transfer them to the internal storage, as some drives, even a Samsung T5 for example, which is a quick drive, simply can't play the game from the drive itself. So as you can see, if I click here, sorry, this game cannot be played from the external storage. To play Hitman, you'll need to transfer it into the internal storage for the console itself. So I mean, it's easy enough to transfer over again, but it means you need to sort of think about what you're putting on that internal storage and manage accordingly. But I thought it was worth noting because I read a few things on the forums where this has confused a few people. So yeah, I thought that would be an interesting video to do. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd really appreciate a like, comment or subscribe on the channel. That would be great. And if you'd like to see some more videos, then please check out the other videos on my channel. It would be much appreciated. Okay, well, have a lovely day, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.